I don't know how much, like, I'm a pretty big college football fan. I know Tyler's the same way. We're in a pro football town. So I don't know, like, we're not an SEC country or anything like that, but I love college football. And I actually kind of follow UNLV. My brother-in-law lives in Vegas. So I've been to a UNLV game before. I have a friend who works in radio in Vegas, and he's the sideline reporter for Runnin Rebels football, and he does stuff with the basketball team. So, like, I pay attention to UNLV, which, by the way, they're never good usually in football. Tyler, the most famous UNLV football alum is who? And in particular, it's a Philadelphia connection.
The most famous UNLV alum.
The most successful UNLV Runnin Rebel. He was drafted in the second round.
Okay.
By the Philadelphia Eagles. He was an All-American punter while at UNLV, but he also was a quarterback.
The only punter who played quarterback I can think of is Tom Tupa. And I know, obviously, that's not
Danny White,
right.
Once upon a time, the Cowboys quarterback, also punted, which I thought was the weirdest thing as a kid.
I don't know the answer to this question.
Randall Cunningham.
Oh, my gosh. You know what? How did I forget Randall went to UNLV? That's so bad on my part.
Well, yeah.
So bad on my part.
You gotta hit the books then.
You would I mean, listen, I'm pretty good with college pro connections. I don't know how I forgot that one.
Well, because no one thinks of Randall as they think of him as an Eagle, not UNLV. Anyway, UNLV is 3-0 this year. They're ranked. I mean, this is a football program that is brutally bad over the course of however many years, right? So they start the season 3-0. Matthew Sluka, who was a quarterback who transferred in from Holy Cross, transferred in as a fifth-year senior. They started 3-0, and he announced that he is leaving the program, taking his red shirt, not playing anymore. So if he would have played past this game, he would have no more years of eligibility. And he's doing it because he says he was offered $100,000 to come and play for the Runnin Rebs. And Herb texted me and said he'll be here in 5 minutes.
Okay.
So this is the first case that I'm sure we're going to see many cases in the future, but this is the first time we're actually seeing it where in season a player is saying, hey, I need to be paid. I haven't been paid. Now, the school's position is that there was never a formal offer for $100,000 for him. And I think they offered him like $5,000 on 4 different occasions. There was like $3,000 payments or something like that. But the agent of this kid is saying, no, we were verbally offered $100,000 by the offensive coordinator. UNLV is saying, like, well, he doesn't have the authority to offer $100,000. So I don't, like, he said, she said, who do you believe? UNLV coming out and saying, well, he didn't have the authority to do it. So are you saying he didn't offer $100,000? You know what I mean, Tyler? If the offensive coordinator verbally offered him $100,000, I would say that's a verbal offer to come and play.
So here's the thing. That's kind of, I think that may be the holdup to this question is, does a verbal offer hold legality? I don't know the answer to that question, right? So
I don't think he can sue, but he can leave, which is what he did.
It's certainly within his right. He could have left regardless, I would assume. Now, he would have broken contract if there was actual payment.
That's the difference.
If there was actual, like, legitimate payment to it, he would have broken contract. But I don't know the answer to that question if it's a verbal agreement. I think that this is kind of a murky situation where,
for sure,
it's shady by the people paying to not pay up if they did agree. It's also unclear whether Sluka can actually recoup his money if there's no written contract. I don't know. Like, I am 99.999% of the time on the side of the players. Get your money. You deserve it. Your coach is bailing you all the time. You should get your money and be able to leave too. But in this particular instance, I don't know if if it's applicable.
So I consider myself somewhat of a legal scholar, Tyler. I've watched a ton of people's court.
That's right. You did tell me you are a detective, a lawyer.
I liked First 48.
Yeah.
Judge Mathis got a little bit crazy at the end there, so I didn't watch Judge Mathis. But legit, I used to DVR people's court, and then I would watch it with Judge Milian. Then I would watch it when I was doing dishes or cooking or whatever. Love it. So verbal agreements are still an agreement. In this case, he's not going to be suing and winning anything in court. That's not going to happen. I'd be shocked if that happened. But he did decide to leave. And the real thing for me is that, A, this isn't the kid's fault. I'm not even going to blame UNLV. This is the freaking wild, wild west. All right? Herb's actually calling me right now. Should we take the call in the air? Let's do it. Hold on, Herb. Herb, I have you on speaker. Are you here?
I'm a couple blocks away.
Yeah. All right. So would you like us to come to? I don't want to send somebody down till you're actually here in case you get lost. So why don't you send me a text message when you're in the parking lot, and then I'll send somebody down for you. All right.
All right, you got it.
All right, Herb.
I'm making it rain on 9th Street now.
All right, buddy. All right. All right. So he's probably going to be here shortly. But like this is the NCAA's problem, and like they weren't looking to do this. They got sued and they lost, obviously. So they got to try to figure this out. But in the meantime, so if this kid's worth $100,000, and I don't know if anybody he's not a good passing quarterback. His completion percentage was 43% this year. He's more of a running quarterback. He's a classic college quarterback. And honestly, if I was a school like Temple or any of the Mountain West schools, or you know what I mean, like a school like UNLV, I wonder how much this guy in modern college football, Tyler, is worth. Because one of the things that's being said out there is that they started 3-0, and this is when an agent got involved, and that's when the agent's like, no, you owe us $100,000. So there also is the side of he was never offered $100,000. They started 3-0, and that's when a power play happened. Like, hey, you want to keep us? You want to win this season? You got to pay us, which is also a strong possibility of something that happened.
And I will say this too: I've seen it circulating on Twitter, and tweets can only go as far as what you see on the surface value sometimes. But it does appear to me that a lot of the UNLV teammates of his are not on his side. Correct. They are excited about the backup being the starter now. I don't know if it's because of a low completion percentage. I don't know if they just dislike the guy. I don't know the personal relationships between these guys.
They probably barely know him. When did he come to Nevada? In like August?
I mean, I would assume probably for camp, right?
So he's been there a couple months and he's already bailing. I mean, that would piss me off too.
So I think that, it probably speaks a little bit of volume to say that some of his teammates are not in the foxhole with him, if you will.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know the right answer to this situation. It's a weird scenario. Because both sides could be at fault, or maybe in this instance, neither side is at fault. I don't know the answer to this question.
I think it's and without knowing the actual details, it's tough to really know. But if this is probably this last kid, I mean, played 4 years at Holy Cross. This is now he's at UNLV and he's supposedly getting paid. Even though I tell him to text me when he's here, he still continues to call me. Hold on a second. Herb, are you here?
I'm here in front of the building.
Okay. All right. We'll send somebody down. All right. There he goes. All right. We need to go get Herb. Good luck, Alexa. All right. But so this is he stopped playing so he could play one more year. This is going to be the last year of professional, and it really is professional football now. This is going to be the last year he plays, other than maybe Arena or CFL, which I even doubt about that. So if this kid now is trying to make the most money that he can, really, this is his last year of earning power as an athlete. If you can make $100,000 transferring to some school, then I don't blame him at all. It's $100,000, right?
Oh, go get your money.
Go get your money.
Big believer in that.
I don't know enough to know if he's worth that much money. I mean, he was 3-0, and if you're a booster in some Fresno State or Washington State or Temple or something like that, is there enough money for NILs? Because honestly, now with these schools, and you saw Woj leave ESPN, and now he goes to St. Bonaventure for basketball. They're looking at him as a fundraiser. Because they know they need money to field teams. This is a professional league now. Kids are getting paid. There's payrolls. Now you have payrolls for college teams, basketball, women's basketball. So makes things different. That's for sure. But I'll be curious to see how this plays out, because it's not like this isn't a prized quarterback that there's going to be a bidding war over him. But he may get a couple colleges if I just wonder what the price is for a guy like this.
So
Matt Sluka.
By the way, diving a little bit deeper into the backup quarterback situation at UNLV. So the next man up seems to be Haj Malik Williams, who was at Campbell for a couple years. He is Campbell's all-time passing leader and touchdown leader, dual threat quarterback who put up some really big numbers against Deion's Jackson State team a couple of seasons ago. A lot of UNLV fans seem pretty excited about the opportunity of this guy being the next quarterback up.
So here's what we're going to do on Philly with John Marks. UNLV has now become our team that we root for and follow.
Nope.
Stott, well, I mean, like, listen, you can do your Penn State stuff or whatever, but Bryson Stott wearing the UNLV helmet in the locker room, I thought was pretty cool because he's from Vegas. So, well, at least with me and maybe our viewers in our chat there, we can root for UNLV.